happened in this country.
So Chas doesn't count. Seattle doesn't count. Inauguration day doesn't count. None of this stuff counts, guys.
Past 20 years.
Hey, 2020 during the COVID doesn't count. You know, none of that stuff.
The majority of it, the overwhelming majority of it, everybody gets mad because they keep asking Grok about it, has been conservative.
Who shot Charlie Kirk?
A guy from Utah who was raised in a Christian family, who was a 22-year-old
white
dude.
described.
He wasn't trans. He didn't have a trans girlfriend. He didn't have any trans influences. He didn't have any trans bullets. Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys were wrong.
See, that's a lie. You see, he's lying through his teeth
on all of that.
To be clear, the government.
He's lying through his teeth, guys, and I will show you. There's a new tweet.
Of Utah, Spencer Cox, has made it clear that their investigation has now established that he had been radicalized by a leftist ideology, which drove him to do this. That's just
I'm sorry, excuse me, when?
Yesterday, he said that.
No. When was he radicalized? In the 6 months that he did remote college?
I don't know when he was radicalized, but I do know.
What you just said
I do know the very reasonable-sounding governor of Utah has made it clear that the you may not want to hear this.
Ongoing investigation.
You may not want to hear it, Destiny. But the reality is, the investigators, according to the governor of Utah, have established that he was radicalized to a leftist ideology that drove him to murder Charlie Kirk. Now, let me just ask you.
That's not true.
Let me just ask you.
There's no way to deal with it.
Okay, you're accusing the governor of lying. Yeah. That's your prerogative. But if it turns out to have been somebody with a leftist ideology who wanted to shut up Charlie Kirk, would you condemn that?
He's not going to condemn it. He's not going to condemn it. He does not want to condemn it. At this point, he haven't condemned the. If he haven't condemned any of these actions in the last 5 years, he's not going to do it now.
I won't condemn anything until the president of the United States can go on air and say, all of us need to calm down.
So you won't condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk until Donald Trump says something.
I'm a YouTuber. Leftists and Democrats have been condemning and turning down the temperature, condemning violence, turning down the temperature for a decade. Donald Trump can't go on TV and say, all of us need to calm down.
Right.
Can you tell me why he cannot?
Why would you expect anybody, Destiny?
You can't answer that. Can you answer that question? Why can't Trump go on TV and say, all of us should be less violent?
Why do you think
Trump say that?
Why do you think
your behavior contingent on Donald Trump?
Insane right now.
Why do you think? No, let me ask a question.
Donald Trump.
Let me ask a question.
Because he's the president of the United States of America and the leader.
So he thinks he's in the same level the president of the United States, guys. That's what it is. He thinks that he's in the same level.
Of the
Destiny. Let me
you have a huge audience of young men.
He might be in something. The Joe. You know, I'm just assuming here, but he's going like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
listen to everything you have to say. So when it doesn't matter. You have a huge audience, and because of the fact that you have a huge audience, you have a responsibility to not turn. No, it hasn't. It hasn't been broken. I actually care about the country and want to bring people together. You do the opposite. You represent the worst of us, Destiny. You're embarrassing.
You should tell Donald Trump.
All right, let me ask Destiny a question.
Watch how easy this is.
Hang on, don't all shout at once, please.
If Donald Trump would have come out and said, hey, we should all be less violent, I have no problem saying
I have one question for you, Destiny.
Why can't conservatives do that? Why can't conservatives do that?
Destiny, I have a question for you. Why do you think in your campaign for everyone to dial down the temperature, why do you think that mocking the grieving widow of Charlie Kirk when she posts an image of her at the coffin side,
that's crazy, man.
Why do you think that constitutes turning down the temperature?
You can't turn down the temperature on your own. The president of the United States is not able.
You're mocking his widow. You're mocking his widow.
We've had multiple.
These people are practicing double truth. That's what's going on. They're talking from both sides of their mouth. They're changing. They're changing words and meanings. He's literally inflaming. He's saying it's okay at this point to just delete the other side because that way conservatives. I'm just paraphrasing, of course, and that's the only way conservatives will learn.
Political assassinations over the past year. What do you mean it's turning up the temperature?
Why did you mock his widow?
Why did you mock his widow? Because she's being used as a political weapon right now for conservatives to continue their fight. What do you mean, wow? She's literally doing
her husband just got murdered
on email. Yeah, and she's using it to drive up recruitment for
and you can't even condemn the murder. You won't condemn it.
Can't even tell his side.
You're
to
so
turn the
deranged about Trump that you cannot condemn the murder because you're waiting for Donald Trump to say something.
Off of it.
All right, let me bring in Jack. Let me bring in Jack Posobiec. I got to say,
there's still no answer to that question, Piers. You can't say
which question?
Why can't Donald Trump simply go on TV and say we all need to turn it down, like Biden could, like Obama could, like the Clintons could, like Kamala could? Why not?
Why can't you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
It's unbelievable. I'm not the president of the United States.
Why can't you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Unbelievable to me.
Why can't you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Because it wasn't my side that caused it. It should be the one that is driving up the rhetoric.
It actually was your side that caused it. It was your side.
He doesn't care. He's not going to take accountability.
He was a radicalized leftist ideology.
He wasn't radicalized by
yeah, that's what I say. He's doing his usual. I'm not saying just saying. Yeah, and I think it's just one of his strategies to not take accountability. Yeah, he's over talk. Yeah, you know what? There's something wrong with the conservative party or the conservative wing of the United States. Is that when we see somebody like him that just sit down and talk with us, he does this, and somehow we give him respect. This guy deserves zero respect. This guy is a control opposition, and this right here is the problem with the left. This dude right here is not here to talk. He's not here to talk. He's just here to just inflame, actually, I would say, his side of the equation. So at this point, there might be a situation that something like this will happen again.
Of it all, you have no proof of that whatsoever.
That's what the investigators are saying.
Was a conservative, just like the people that firebombed Shapiro's house was a conservative, just like all the J6ers were conservative, just like the Proud Boys were conservative. Every single one of these people. Oh, it's Jack Posobiec, what, the author of Unhuman, another person that Charlie supported. Good one, dude.
Well, I'll give you one last chance, Destiny, to condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk.
Yes, you are acting like an unhuman.
Why can't I hear Donald Trump condemn violence in this country?
All right, you won't condemn it. Okay, we've all heard.
That's insane.
We've all heard you repeatedly refuse to condemn it.
We've heard Donald Trump refuse to condemn it too. But for some reason, the leftists on YouTube are a bigger deal. Unbelievable.
Yeah. What's incredible is you don't have the basic humanity to condemn it. You'd rather taunt his widow. I find that sickening. Jack Posobiec.
I find it sickening that when people are getting killed in the country, the president of the United States on Fox and Friends, when they're begging him, what do you say to your followers that want revenge? He says, I don't know, all the elections are rigged. It's the radical Democrats. That's insane to me. And then the fixation is, well, who on Twitter and YouTube isn't condemning the violence?
All right, Jack Posobiec.
You have a great example here of the type of cancer I'm talking about, where when you present direct information, they refuse, they obfuscate, they refute, they say it's not true, they lie. You could see from the bullet casings, you could see from postings, you could see from everything out there that it's very clear what happened here. This is the same people who supported President Trump almost getting assassinated twice last year.
Correct.
Capatori being assassinated last year in a situation. Again, see, just lies. That's all they do. They talk over. They don't even let you give a chance to speak. And something needs to be done, Piers. Something absolutely needs to be done. This ideology should be shamed, humiliated, driven from the public discourse. I mean, you've got people who have completely dissociated with humanity because all they care about are clicks and YouTube streams and likes. Go to the casket. Go to the gravesite. Go talk to the widow. You know, I don't even know how to discuss this with someone who's completely lost all touch with reality. Yeah, I mean, Anna.
What's Jack's answer to why can't the president say we should all be less violent?
Right. Because you can't even condemn the cold-blooded execution of Charlie
Donald Trump
Kirk.
Turns on Destiny.
I don't think you're in the
YouTube,
position to demand anything from anybody
on YouTube. That's how I'm going to take my.
You're not in any position to condemn anybody for anything. You won't condemn a cold-blooded murder.
He's the president of the United States. He's the president of the United States. No one here can answer that question.
Basic humanity says the murder was horrific. Why can't you say it?
To be less violent.
Why can't you say it, Destiny?
For over a decade.
To say the murder was horrific and unacceptable.
Why can't Donald Trump say it?
You can't do it, can you?
Why does no one hear any words for Donald Trump?
All right, Anna
This dude is crazy, man.
Nothing exactly.
Anna Kasperin, to me, this is what I'm talking about. That I think there is an element of the left.
Well, a lot of people say that he used kind of something. I don't know how truthful that is, but he's here to murky the waters. He's not here for the truth.
The hard woke left that have completely lost their minds. If you are not able to just outright simply condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk, and if you cannot stop yourself from mocking his grieving widow, you are sick, as 100%. I've just seen from Destiny. It's a
the sick thing is weaponizing a widow's grief to try to do recruitment for your political party. That's probably one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. She's showing up in emails for recruitment drives for TP USA.
What did you think the assassination of a political figure would do? What did you think the outcome was going to be? What did you think the outcome was? And by the way,
are you asking me for the pragmatic political outcome? Are you asking me for?
Hey, how about take it easy on the Adderall? Take it easy on the Adderall, and let me answer the question that Pierce asked me.
You must have been really bullied today, I guess.
Let Anna speak, please.
My behavior is not reliant on how anyone else behaves. Every morning I wake up and I make decisions about how I choose to react or respond to things. I don't wake up in the morning, check what Donald Trump has to say, and then base my own personal behavior on his behavior. I agree with you in that it would be very helpful to have the leader of this country want to turn the temperature down. And he hasn't done that. I agree with you on that. But that doesn't change the way I choose to respond to what's going on. The idea of mocking a woman who is now a widow with 2 young children who witnessed her husband get shot in the neck and bleed out to death.
He has to appease. He has to appease. The thing is that at this point, he has to appease to his own base. Otherwise, if he says, I condemn the violence, probably 75% of his audience would just go. And probably they will go against him. He knows his audience. He knows them.
What is wrong with you? I just don't understand it. That's it. I don't understand it. I don't understand you, Destiny. You have so much hatred in your heart, and at the same time, you
it's such a simple thing. If you're going to weaponize somebody's grief against the other party, well, then of course people have a right to fight back against it. I think that she has every right to grieve in whatever way she wants, but when that grief is going to be weaponized to do recruitment, political recruitment, and further radicalization of the other side, then of course you not only have the ability to mock it, I think you have the obligation to mock it. It's insane.
Let me understand. Let me understand your argument. So since others are using her grief to politically recruit, you think that it's okay to mock her specifically?
Since others are using her grief, she's the one who gave a 17-minute speech on TV where she talked about good versus evil. She's the one showing up in TP USA ads to 1 or 2 days after.
If someone assassinated my husband, I would not be able to have the level of composure she had during that speech. I would be out for blood. I understand why she's angry and why she said the things that she said. Okay, you need to understand what being a human is, what it's like to actually lose someone that you love, that you chose to spend your life with, that you chose to raise children with, a person who was violently and viciously assassinated like that. This is
let him hear. I think he just let him. I think what he's doing right now is just letting Destiny be stupid right now. Let him be stupid, and then he can snatch him.
Why
he's listening.
And when something happens, I know, yes, because you got bullied online. It's so funny. It's so funny that you just said that you don't think about how other people act to define your behavior. Your entire political ideology now is somehow defined by the people that were mean to you on Twitter.
No,
if somebody cares about somebody who's grieving,
I understood
then you tell that
what
person,
the flaws on the left happen to be. The weakness in their arguments. No, it's not about the way I get treated. I get treated like crap from both sides of the political aisle.
You do mass recruitment for our political party.
That's crazy.
Everyone over here is calling for civil war. It's unhinged. When you've got people like Matt Walsh of the Daily Wire, the president
we're talking to a guy who said he'd be okay with his own parents getting killed if they went to that Trump rally where that assassination attempt
and we're talking
happened.
to a woman who went on and did the whole conservative media outlet with Tucker Carlson and Glenn Beck and had nothing bad to say whatsoever. I know where your bread is buttered. I know where you're making your money from.
I had awesome conversations. I don't regret it at all.
That's great.
I also had a conversation with Jack Posobiec on her take. It was awesome.
Yeah, I know.
That's what democracy is about. Having an exchange of ideas.
All
right, let me bring in
this lady. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now, bro. Like he's just a controller position, man. So a lot of people have said that he's like a Fed or something like that. Listen, I don't know, man. For it seems like he's a control opposition for real, guys. He looks like a controller position. No way you can give these arguments. They have no substance. They have no standing.
Anna, you're completely right, by the way. Anna is completely right.
Didn't it?
And the irony of Charlie Kirk is that he led the way in going in to debate with people who hated him, and he would try and have respectful dialogue.
Charlie Kirk beat up on college students.
Unlike you, Destiny. Let me bring Andrew Wilson in.
So do you.
Let me bring in Andrew Wilson.
So do you. You beat up on college students. You go on a college tour. You're going on a college tour right now to beat up on college students. What are you talking about, Destiny? That's what you're doing right this second, is going on a college tour to go beat up on college students. By the way, can I just ask you a question?
I don't exclusively beat up on college.
Can you actually answer? Can you actually answer? Hang on, calm down. I just got one question.
Yeah.
I got one question for you.
His mission is just to make sure he can go through this segment, right? This show without him condemning the violence. So that means he might just overtalk. He might just, you know, not even participate in the conversation. His job right now is just to go through this without condemning it.
And I want you to actually answer it. Are you glad Charlie Kirk is dead?
No, I don't think anybody in this country should be dying to political violence. It's insane. The past 5 years in this country has been crazy. But the reality is, until conservatives,
so then why did you say to your co-host that Trump deserved the bullet? Why did you tell him that?
Until conservatives have to say, hey, we all need to be less violent.
Bro,
there's no purpose in Democrats doing it, because every time Democrats disavow, you further entrench your guys' delusional beliefs that all the violence is coming on the left. Donald Trump can go on TV. He can say, Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. They can go on Parler and say, we heard you. They can go to the Capitol and break in and try to insurrect. They can get convicted in front of a jury, and then Donald Trump can pardon them, and we can come out and go, hey, guys, why aren't Democrats disavowing violence? And pretend that the problem is coming from the left. Democrats do a disservice to this country by disavowing violence constantly when the president of the United States
Let me respond quickly.
Yeah, that's the job, you think?
Destiny, so the thing is, why did you say to your co-host that the bullet was for Trump? Why did you say to your co-host that the best place for the bullet was Trump? Why did you say that?
Why did Donald Trump call it?
It's a whataboutism. Whataboutism. I'm asking you a question. I can't be a whataboutism if it's my question, Destiny.
Why won't Donald Trump
answer the question?
Why don't we do this? Why don't we do this?
Pierce, man, I'm telling you, when it comes down to Piers Morgan and his way of doing interviews, man, he suck. Let him have it. Let him have it. Like, just don't stop. This thing is right now, he's just killing himself. Let him have it. Let him have it. Like this.
Why don't we do this before I cut mics?
Because you don't care.
Destiny,
you don't care that Kirk's dead.
Destiny, allow Andrew to repeat his question. And let him ask the question, then you answer it, okay? Andrew.
No, I want to hear the other side first.
Let him ask the question, Destiny, and then you answer it. Andrew.
Destiny told his co-host, when asked point blank, if he wanted the bullet to kill Trump, that the worst thing that could have happened was the bullet missing. He said this to Pisco. I watched it, okay? This guy's an obfuscation machine. And if you know what else, Destiny, why should we believe you? I think you are glad Kirk is dead. And all of your tweets seem to prove that. And you would have been happy if Trump was assassinated. You've made that very clear. So why not just be truthful for once in your fucking life and say the truth, that you don't care that Kirk is dead, and you're actually probably glad he is. Isn't that really what's true?
I don't want anybody in this country to die to political violence. I don't think in the United States of America that should be happening. I don't know why it's so hard for the president to say the same. I think it'd be the easiest thing in the world as a president. Biden did it for 4 years. That's why everything was way cooler when he was here.
Yeah, Biden did it for 4 years. Come on, man. I mean, since Trump has been in power, these people even attack conservatives even during the rallies. I mean, what do we do here, chat? I'm just confused, man. What do we do here? What do we do here?
The temperature.
These people are crazy, man.
The Clintons have no problem saying it. Barack Obama has no problem saying it. Kamala Harris has come out and said it. Every Democratic lawmaker and leader has basically come out and said it. But for some reason on the Republican side, it's just civil war, civil war, civil war. And the Republican president of the United States, who has presided over more violence politically in this country, more large protests than any president in all of U.S. history, for some reason can't bring himself to say, all of us need to calm down. And
so did Trump deserve the bullet? Did Trump deserve the bullet?
This is all you care about are the political hit jobs.
Just answer the question, bro. Did Trump deserve the bullet?
Did Donald Trump deserve the bullet on his side ever? Did Donald Trump
answer the question? Did Trump deserve the bullet?
You can't answer the question. We're here to play.
No, bro. It's my turn to ask the question. It's your turn to answer.
Did
Trump deserve the bullet?
Did Trump disavow violence in this country ever?
Did he deserve the bullet? Yes, he's disavowed violence. But again, I just did. Now your turn. Now your turn. It's your turn.
Did Donald Trump?
Did Trump deserve the bullet?
I never said that. No, I never said that. No.
Okay, except you did to your co-host.
No,
you
I
said,
didn't. Wait, when did Donald Trump? Wait. When did Donald Trump
your
diss about
exact
all violence
words
in this
to your
country?
co-host, you lying sack of shit. If he wanted to kill Trump,
shit?
the
No
worst
way.
thing that could have happened
Donald Trump
was the
dissed about
bullet
all
missing.
political violence. And
that's what you said,
and this is,
bro.
Yeah.
Yo,
And this is
dude.
when you're putting YouTubers, YouTubers and tweeters on the same level as the president of the United States.
Yeah, we have to pray for them. That's all we can do.
Brain broken when it comes to violence.
That's all you can do, man.
But Destiny, Destiny,
I'm going to turn around and be like, I can't believe it. What's going on? What's happening here?
Okay, this guy, bro.
If you care so much about political violence in America, why don't you lead the way yourself without mentioning anybody else? Why don't you, Destiny, right now just outright condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Because we've been doing that for a decade. One side can't turn down the temperature.
You can't do it.
One side can't turn down the temperature.
No, you can't do it.
Donald Trump